it. I've got to eat more greens or whatever. Monkeys don't say that to themselves. They're not as self-conscious in that way. They do, however, go like, this fur make my ass look huge. Because I don't think scarlet's my color. I shouldn't have been a tamarind. I could have been the fucking otter. Does that answer your question, Jennifer? I have printed this right off the edge of the page.
What the fuck is going on?
A single mom planning to travel to see your podcast and whose hair stands on end. Oh, that's a thank you and safe travels. Yes, safe travels. It's the 9th of December. I will be performing in Bloomington, Indiana, at the Comedy Attic. If by some bizarre quirk of fate, time bends back on itself in an unending Mobius strip that's inexplicable, Indiana will at that point be the month of December. And what you will experience as Christmas comes towards you is endless cornfields and pork chop sandwiches and county fairs and pig races and guys named Nick. And a lot of people wearing Crocs and fanny packs and driving trucks and shit going, I gotta fucking watch that, I really do. And people smoke indoors. Well, I haven't been there for years, but they used to smoke indoors in Indiana. It's different. There'll be a Maggiano's where they'll take you for Sunday dinner and shit. Maggiano's is an Italian food chain. People of this room. I feel like I'm speaking to the audience out there a little more right now than I am to you guys. If you're gonna go quiet on fucking Maggiano's thing. Next thing you're gonna tell me that you don't fucking know what a Panda Express is, or that you haven't been to a fucking P.F. Chang's when you were rolling solo on the road. It's a Chris Christopherson's, first of all. P.F. Chang's. I'm so lonely. My pot stickers insolently dwelling on a white plate like island of... It's a shitty Chris Christopherson song. Dear Senior Proops, writes Gavin McClure. Yes, young Gavin. Dear Senior Proops, what is it? We met briefly after the show. I was listening. We did, Gavin. And he did a painting. He actually did a redid. He finally finished it. He's attaching it. A painting of Caravaggio's Judith and Holofernes. Judith and Holofernes is a biblical scene, like Old Testament. Judith is kidnapped and horribly violated. She's taught Achan by Holofernes, who's a Babylonian king, and later in his sleep she gains her comeuppance by chopping his head off with the assistance of her maid. In the Caravaggio painting, it is a prostitute who is a good friend of his, and possibly even one of his prostitutes, named Felice Melandrino, and she's leaning back in the picture like this and chopping the head off quite calmly. I mean, it's not like this. You know, it's arty, and there's mites like behind her, and
you were turning.
Really, it's really like a look.
And now you're not.
And he seems to be shocked that he's being beheaded at that point. In any case, he did a recapitulation of it. There's going to be a Caravaggio show at the LACMA, I think, next month. I know I talked about him in an earlier Proofcast because he was the one who wrote the poem to Baglioni, his rival, that said, your wife's being fucked by your fucking rival's donkey cock and shit. If anybody remembers a very proud moment in the Proofcast history where 13-year-olds all over the world heard me say the word donkey cock 1,000 times. I believe we dropped a cunt bomb there in that one too, so it was a pretty... Caravaggio really doesn't leave anything on the floor. You know what I mean? It's all gone by the end of Caravaggio. So I would urge you to go see the show. Because one, it's all biblical scenes that have nothing to do with the Bible. And secondly, everybody's dressed in contemporary clothing to his time period. It would be like if I did a painting of Judith and Holofernes right now, and someone was wearing fucking tights and glasses in the painting. Didn't that happen in the year 3000 BC? It happened when I wanted it to happen. I was recently listening to your Denver podcast. Thank you. And you briefly mentioned that the first woman member of Congress, and I've printed it right off the page. You're thinking of Jeanette Rankin, the first woman to be elected to Congress, a pacifist and one of 50 members to oppose entering World War I, and the only member to oppose World War II. There's an amazing peace center named after her in Missoula, Montana,